In our last few times together, you've learned some powerful tools. You've learned how to anchor yourself in the present moment using your senses. You've discovered a first aid kit for moments of panic and doubt. But let's be honest for a moment. Do you ever feel like you're always putting out fires? You have a good day, you feel calm, aligned, and then a small trigger appears, at work, at home, in your own mind, and suddenly you have to use a tool again just to get back to center. The relief is real, but sometimes it feels temporary. This is one of the biggest frustrations on the healing journey. What if I told you that the ultimate goal isn't to become a good emotional firefighter? What if, instead of just putting out fires, you could slowly rebuild your inner house with fireproof material? In this video, we're going to do exactly that. This isn't a guide for managing crises. It's a practical guide to building a nervous system so strong, so resilient, that the small, everyday triggers simply lose their power. We're going to learn how to expand your peace from the inside out. To build this fireproof inner house, we first need a blueprint. And neuroscience has given us an incredibly useful one. The concept is called the window of tolerance. Imagine your ideal emotional state is like a peacefully flowing river. When you are within the banks of this river, you're in your optimal zone. You feel present, connected, and able to handle life's ups and downs. The small stresses of the day are like pebbles in the current. The water simply flows around them effortlessly. This is your window of tolerance. Now, when a bigger stressor hits, it can push you up and out of your window. The river overflows. This is what psychologists call hyperarousal. It's fight or flight mode. It's anxiety, anger, panic, the mind that won't shut off. Your internal guard dog is barking uncontrollably. But there's another state, one that's less talked about. Sometimes stress pushes us down and out of the window. The river dries up. This is hyperarousal. It's freeze mode. It's apathy, feeling empty, disconnected, with no energy for anything. It's your guard dog being so exhausted that it just lies down and gives up. And here is the great revelation. Chronic stress and difficult past experiences don't make us weak. What they do is narrow the banks of our river. They shrink our window of tolerance. That's why sometimes the tiniest pebble in the current, a comment, a small setback, is enough to make our river overflow or run dry. It's not that you're too sensitive, it's that your window has gotten small. The good news, you can rebuild and widen the banks of your river. And the practices I'm going to teach you in this guide aren't meant to force you to stay inside the window. They are practical exercises to, day by day, gently expand your capacity to flow with life, instead of fighting against it. Let's start the work. So, how do we begin the work of widening the banks of our inner river? Not with effort, but with gentle, consistent practices. Today, I'll teach you 3 of them. Think of them as the 3 fundamental exercises in your new nervous system gym. The first practice is perhaps the most powerful for building resilience. It's called pendulation. The idea is simple: to teach your nervous system how to touch discomfort and return to safety, quickly and in a controlled way. Many of us were taught to avoid discomfort at all costs, but that only makes it scarier. With pendulation, we do the opposite. We visit the uncomfortable sensation for a moment. And then we come back home. Let's try a micro practice. First, find a place in your body that feels relatively neutral or even pleasant. It could be the warmth in your hands, the feeling of your feet on the floor, your calm breath. Got one? Great, this is your safe base. Now, find a place in your body that holds a little bit of tension, maybe a slightly stiff shoulder, a tightness in your jaw. It doesn't have to be your biggest pain, just a mild discomfort. And now, the pendulum. Bring your attention to the tension for just 2 or 3 seconds. Just notice it, without judgment. Okay, tension here. And then, deliberately, bring your attention back to your safe base, the warmth in your hands, and rest your attention there for 20 or 30 seconds. feel the comfort, the neutrality. That's it. What you just did was a small rep for your nervous system. You taught it. We can touch discomfort, and we know how to come back to safety. We won't get stuck there. Practicing this for a few minutes every day widens your window of tolerance in a remarkable way. The second practice is about nourishing your nervous system throughout the day. I call it the sensory diet. Just like your body needs nutrients from food, your nervous system needs nutrients from your five senses to feel safe and regulated. The problem is that our modern diet is full of sensory junk food, loud notifications, artificial lights, information overload. This keeps our system on constant high alert. The antidote is to consciously add nutritious foods for your senses throughout the day. Think of it as creating your personal menu of calm. For sight, it might be having a plant on your desk or taking 30 seconds to really look at the clouds in the sky. For hearing, it could be playing calm instrumental music for 5 minutes between meetings, or listening to a recording of forest sounds. For touch, it might be keeping a soft, weighted blanket nearby, or pausing to put lotion on your hands, feeling the texture. For smell, it could be a lavender essential oil or the scent of your favorite tea. The key is to find what works for you. What sensory nutrient is your body asking for right now? Introducing small doses of this throughout the day is like giving your nervous system little vitamins of safety. And the third and final practice is for rebuilding trust with your own body. It's a short meditation I call body gratitude. If you're able, close your eyes for a moment, take a deep breath, bring your attention to your feet. Just feel them. They support you, they carry you where you want to go, they connect you to the earth. Without judgment, just send a silent thought of thank you to your feet. Now, move your attention up to your legs, your torso, your heart, which beats tirelessly for you every second of every day without you ever having to ask. Feel that beat and say, internally, thank you. Bring your attention to your arms and hands. They allow you to create, to hug, to interact with the world. Feel the energy in them and give thanks. So often, our attention only goes to the parts of our body that hurt or that we don't like. This practice reverses that. It teaches you to find and amplify the sensations of well-being that already exist within you, however small. It rebuilds the friendship with your body. And a body that feels seen and appreciated is a body that feels safe. Okay, but what does all of this, pendulation, sensory diets, body gratitude, have to do with manifesting the life of your dreams? The connection is deeper and more direct than you can imagine. Think of it as your nervous system's capacity. Each of us has a limit to how much energy, how much emotion, and how much stress, whether positive or negative, we can handle before our river overflows or runs dry. And here is the game-changing truth. You can only manifest and sustain what your nervous system has the capacity to receive. Let me be very direct. You can't manifest $1 million life if your nervous system has $100 capacity. Not because you don't deserve it, but because the energy of $1 million, the new responsibilities, the new decisions, the new visibility, would overwhelm a system that hasn't been trained for it. And your system, in an effort to protect you, will unconsciously sabotage the opportunity to keep you safe in what it already knows. The practices we're learning in this guide do exactly that. They expand your capacity. They strengthen your energetic container. They widen the banks of your river. This means that when the big opportunity shows up, your body won't go into a panic. When success starts to arrive, your system won't hit the self-sabotage button. You will have the internal capacity to handle the energy of your biggest dreams. You stop just wanting your dreams, and you become the person who can actually sustain the reality of them. And so, building the life you desire begins in an unexpected place. Not with vision boards or affirmations yelled into a mirror, but with the gentle, patient relationship you build with your own body. Remember, regulating your nervous system isn't about trying to feel calm or positive all the time. That's a trap. It's about, day after day, expanding your capacity to be present with the full human experience, the joy and the sorrow, the calm and the storm. It's about becoming a container so strong and spacious that no wave, no matter how big, can knock you over. And to start nourishing our nervous systems together, our community call today is about the sensory diet. Share in the comments, what is one practice, one sensory nutrient, that you commit to trying this week? It could be something as simple as listening to 5 minutes of classical music without interruptions, taking a break to really look at the trees, or using that weighted blanket at night. Your idea could be the very inspiration someone else was looking for. If this practical guide gave you a new perspective, consider subscribing so we can continue building this inner resilience together. Thank you for dedicating yourself to this deep work. Take good care.